Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to be here with you today to talk about orchid care for beginners. On this first slide, you'll see the title, Planting and Management Tips. We're going to explore some of the best ways to grow these stunning exotic plants right in your own home. Over the course of this presentation, I'll share practical advice on planting, caring, and managing your orchids so they can thrive. So let's get started and discover how to bring these beautiful blooms into your life. Why orchids? Well, they are truly the world's most diverse and exotic plants. The Orchidaceae family is one of nature's greatest success stories, with about 880 genera and over 28,000 species. These plants have evolved over a staggering 125 million years, and they can be found on nearly every continent. What makes orchids so fascinating is their incredible variety. Some are tiny jewel orchids that sparkle like gemstones, while others are giant tropical blooms that can span a foot wide. Their colors, shapes, and fragrances are simply extraordinary, and this diversity is part of what makes them so captivating. Despite their reputation for being exotic and sometimes delicate, many orchids are actually quite easy to grow indoors. With the right care and understanding, anyone can enjoy nurturing these beautiful plants. So, as we explore orchids further, keep in mind that their diversity and adaptability are key reasons they are such a beloved part of plant world. Let's take a closer look at understanding orchids and what makes them quite unique among houseplants. Most orchids are actually epiphytes, which means they grow on trees in nature rather than in soil. Their roots are adapted to need constant air circulation, so they're often exposed and air-friendly. Then we have lithophytes. Some orchid species naturally grow on rocks or cliff faces. They cling onto minimal organic material in these crevices, which shows how adaptable they are to different environments. The third group is terrestrial orchids. These grow in loose, nutrient-rich jungle soil, but it's crucial that their soil has excellent drainage and aeration. This is a smaller group, but it's important because it influences how we should pot them. Unlike regular potting soil, which can suffocate their roots and cause rot, orchids need a special mix made from bark, moss, and perlite. Understanding these different growth habits helps us provide the best care for orchids, ensuring they thrive whether they're growing on trees, rocks, or in soil. When it comes to choosing your first orchid, I highly recommend going with the Phalaenopsis, also known as the moth orchid. It's really the beginner-friendly champion of orchids because it's one of the easiest and most forgiving varieties out there. With proper care, its beautiful blooms can last anywhere from 3 to 6 months, making it a long-lasting and rewarding plant to grow. You'll also be amazed by the stunning variety of colors and patterns available. These orchids come in everything from pure white to deep purple, and many have eye-catching stripes, spots, and gradients that add a touch of elegance to any space. One of the best features of the moth orchid is its reliability as a rebloomer. If you provide the right conditions, it will bloom again and again, year after year. That means you can enjoy its beautiful flowers multiple times with just a little patience and care. Plus, it's perfect for indoor environments, whether you have moderate light or stable temperatures, making it an ideal choice for apartments or offices. Overall, the Phalaenopsis is a fantastic starting point for anyone looking to bring a beautiful, low-maintenance orchid into their home or workspace. Light and location are absolutely key to blooming success with orchids. First, let's talk about bright, indirect light. Orchids generally do best in bright light that's filtered or diffused. So, imagine placing them near east or west-facing windows. These spots give you that lovely morning or afternoon sun without exposing them to the harsh midday rays. Now, a simple way to check if your orchid is getting the right amount of light is the shadow test. Hold your hand about 12 inches above the plant. If you see a faint shadow, that means the light is low, which is perfect for jewel orchids. But if you notice a strong, defined shadow, that indicates high light, which is ideal for more sun-loving orchids like Cattleyas and Vondas. It's very important to avoid direct sunlight, especially during the peak hours. Direct sun can scorch those delicate leaves, causing yellow patches or brown spots that are hard to recover from. To prevent that, use sheer curtains to diffuse the sunlight and protect your plants. Now, what if natural light isn't enough? Well, artificial lighting can definitely help. LED grow lights work great when positioned about 12 to 18 inches above your orchids. They should be on for about 12 to 14 hours each day to supplement natural light and promote healthy growth and blooming. So, in summary, providing the right light and understanding the location is crucial for your orchids to thrive and bloom beautifully. Watering wisely is crucial because overwatering is actually the #1 killer of orchids. More orchids die from overwatering than from any other cause, so understanding the proper watering technique is essential for your success. First, always check the mix before watering. About once a week, when the potting mix feels slightly dry to the touch, it's time to water. A good way to test is to stick your finger about an inch into the medium. If it feels dry, then it's the right time. Next, use tepid water. Room temperature is best. This helps prevent shock to the sensitive roots. It's also best to water early in the day, giving the foliage enough time to dry before nightfall, which helps prevent issues like rot. When watering, be sure to drain thoroughly. Water until it flows freely from the drainage holes, and then let any excess drain out completely. Never let your orchid sit in standing water, because that's a quick way to cause root rot and ultimately, plant death. Don't forget to adjust your watering schedule based on the season. During winter, when growth slows down, reduce watering frequency. Conversely, in spring and summer, when the plant is actively growing, you can increase it slightly. A handy tip to keep in mind: silvery white roots indicate your orchid needs water, while green roots with condensation mean it's well hydrated. By following these simple yet vital steps, you'll greatly improve your orchid's health and longevity. Let's talk about potting mix and repotting. Giving those roots room to breathe is essential for healthy orchids. First, choosing the right growing medium is key. Orchid-specific mixes are designed to promote excellent drainage and air circulation, which are crucial for their roots. Common ingredients include bark chips, which provide structure and air pockets, sphagnum moss, which retains moisture but still allows airflow, perlite, to improve drainage and prevent the mix from compacting, and charcoal, which helps absorb impurities and keeps the mix fresh. Now, when should you repot? Ideally, every 1 to 3 years, or whenever the mix starts breaking down and becoming compacted. The best time to do it is during active growth, usually in spring. Keep an eye out for signs like a musty smell or a decomposed appearance in the mix, roots growing out of the pot, or if the plant becomes unstable or top-heavy. That's a sign it's time. Let's also discuss pots. Clay pots dry faster, which is great if you're a heavy waterer, and they're good for heavy plants. Plastic pots retain moisture longer, making them a good choice if your schedule is busy. But no matter what you choose, always make sure your pots have drainage holes. Proper drainage is absolutely non-negotiable for orchid health because water sitting at the roots can cause rot and other problems. Giving roots space and ensuring good drainage really helps your orchid thrive. Let's talk about creating the perfect temperature and humidity conditions to mimic a tropical environment for your orchids. During the day, aim for warm temperatures between 70 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 21 to 27 degrees Celsius. This warmth encourages healthy growth and mimics their natural habitat. At night, it's beneficial to let the temperature drop by about 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which can help trigger blooming, so a slight cooling period is key. Now, humidity is just as important. Ideally, keep it between 50 and 70%. This level supports optimal growth and healthy foliage. To achieve this, you can use some simple strategies. For example, placing your pots on pebble trays filled with water, making sure the pots sit above the water line, creates a humid microclimate around your plants. Another helpful tip is misting the leaves lightly in the morning. This provides a boost of moisture early in the day, but it's important to let the foliage dry by afternoon to prevent fungal issues. Grouping your orchids with ferns and other tropical plants also helps create a naturally humid environment through microclimates. And a quick warning: avoid placing your orchids near drafts, heating vents, or air conditioning units. Sudden temperature changes stress the plants and can prevent them from blooming successfully. By paying attention to these details, You'll be creating a comfortable, tropical-like environment that encourages your orchids to thrive and bloom beautifully. Feeding and encouraging blooms is all about how proper nutrition and environmental cues work hand in hand to create those spectacular flower displays that truly define orchid beauty. When it comes to a regular feeding schedule, I recommend fertilizing either weekly or bi-weekly using a diluted orchid fertilizer at about a quarter strength. The key motto here is weekly, weekly, so consistent light feeding is more effective than occasional heavy doses. Next, let's talk about balanced formulas. It's best to choose orchid-specific fertilizers that have balanced ratios, like 20-20-20, or bloom-boosting formulas during the flowering season to give your orchids the extra push they need. And don't forget, flushing the media with plain water once a month helps prevent salt buildup, which can harm the plant over time. Now, on to blooming triggers. Orchids often need a little environmental nudge to set those beautiful flower spikes. A temperature drop of about 10 degrees Fahrenheit at night, combined with proper light exposure, can really help signal your orchid that it's time to bloom. And remember, patience is key. After your orchid blooms, it will enter a rest period. During this time, keep up with your regular care routine. Most orchids will reward you with another stunning display in about 6 to 12 months, so stay consistent and enjoy the process. Your orchid journey begins now. Start simple by focusing on just one moth orchid. Pay close attention to its signals. Notice the color of the leaves, how the roots look, and the patterns of growth. Learning to read these signs helps you understand its unique rhythm and needs. Next, I encourage you to join the community, whether that's local orchid societies or online groups. Connecting with fellow enthusiasts provides support, troubleshooting tips, and most importantly, the joy of sharing your successes. Embracing this journey with patience and attentive care transforms orchids from just plants into rewarding companions. With consistent care, they will bloom beautifully year after year. And remember, this is just the beginning. Welcome to the wonderful world of orchids. Enjoy the process, observe carefully, and enjoy the beauty that unfolds.